big thanks goes out to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another vlog. Check this out, it's absolutely stunning. Notch Hill. I was here 2 days ago and had beautiful weather, photographed the Arbutus up on the hill there, and then yesterday we had quite the snowstorm. So I thought, oh great, okay, we're gonna have a bit of snow, and then it cleared up this morning, but we have probably about 15 to 20 centimeters. And I figured, well, I might as well head on back up Notch Hill again because it's close to where I live. And of course the roads are quite treacherous right now, so being close, I don't have to drive too far. I almost didn't make it in the parking lot here because the snow's so deep, and it doesn't look like many people have been here since it started snowing. So luckily I got a lot of weight on this vehicle and 4x4, so that comes in really handy every now and then. So the sun is out, there's tons of snow on the trees. Hopefully there's still a lot of snow on the trees up top that hasn't been all blown off, and let's see if we can get some photographs up here. Something you might want to think about when you go into the woods when it snows like this, especially if where you live doesn't get a lot of snow very often. Trees and limbs come down quite easily. This Arbutus is quite large, so I definitely wouldn't have want to be standing here when it came down. But there's a lot of limbs actually right over the top of me. Whole trees are just leaning like this. So yeah, probably not the greatest place to hang out. Wow, what a winter wonderland. Just absolutely spectacular. The light is beautiful though. That's the great thing about snow, it reflects light back into the shadows. So when you do have a contrasty scene, at least you have that to kind of help you along a bit. Like I'm looking at some Arbutus here that I might actually take a photograph of. There's an old one here, and I can see the reflected light going back into the shadows because the sun, these are somewhat backlit, so we got all this bright snow just acting as a huge reflector. So yeah, why don't I try and see if I can get a shot of this. Okay, as beautiful as this is, I suspect that it is too busy. The snow definitely looks better when you're shooting into the sun rather than having it front lit. So what I'm going to do is just keep going, go up to the summit, because up there at least there's some individual trees that you might be able to isolate. Here most of the trees they have a forest as a backdrop, which is a little bit too busy, especially with the snow. So we'll just keep going. It's tough going. Whew. I'm at the top. and wow, it's beautiful. But the wind has picked up a little bit. I'm a bit worried that it's going to blow all the snow off the trees, so I might have to work fast. One thing I have noticed though is I really love the shadows on the snow here, so perhaps I can do something with those. We'll see what we can do. Almost need snowshoes. This tree here is that's the one I photographed the other day with the roots, but of course you can't see the roots now, so it would have been cool with a little bit of snow and the roots. But anyway, I'm sure I can find something up in this winter wonderland. All right, after a lot of fussing around, I think I finally found something. Like I said, as beautiful as it is, I'm having a hard time because it's very busy, so it's hard to isolate trees. Probably have more chance on the summit here than down below. Now I walked past these trees and I didn't really think anything of them, and it kind of goes down a hill. I went down a little ways and I couldn't find much, but on the way back I noticed that these trees were looking quite nice, isolated from down below, but of course as soon as you get closer, you know, you have the trees in the background because you're going uphill. But what I've done is I've put on a 20 to 35 millimeter, and I'm at around 24 millimeters. And I've got the camera down as low as possible so that I'm shooting up at these trees, and I'm able to just isolate them away from the other trees. The other nice thing right now is that there's a big black cloud above us and there is sunlight on these trees, so there's a nice contrast there. The only issue with this spot right here is that there's a little bit of a cliff here. I mean, it's not dangerous, but it's a little bit awkward. So yeah, I think this is going to work, hopefully, because I'm not having an awful lot of success so far.
And as luck would have it, this turned out to be one of my favorite photographs of the day. Actually, it is my favorite photograph for the day because I only took 2 photographs. So I had a really hard time on this day. I'm not really sure why, but it was very enjoyable. I spent quite a bit of time on the summit there, just enjoying the sunshine and enjoying the snow. And I was the only one up there, so that's always a bonus. I want to take this opportunity to thank Squarespace for continuing to support my channel and sponsoring this week's video. My favorite feature of my Squarespace website is the ability to quickly and efficiently update a gallery or page from my desktop computer or on the fly using the Squarespace app from my smartphone. Loading multiple images onto a page is quick and allows changing a page or design quickly and elegantly without any coding knowledge. Sound interesting? Why not head on over to squarespace.com and try it for free? If you like the platform, use the code AdamGibbs for 10% off your first purchase.
Oh, this is great. I think I've finally found a scene that I quite like.
Okay, you're probably wondering what kind of witchcraft is going on here. My camera has changed, my clothes have changed, and the weather's different. Well, to be honest with you, this is a clip that I took a year ago on Notch Hill, and the funny thing is that I'm complaining about exactly the same things everything is just too busy. So I was having the same problems back then as I was on this more recent trip. I thought I'd include it because it was a clip that I couldn't fit into any other video, and because this one was a little bit short on content, I thought the two would go well together. So I apologize for that, but I just found it really interesting to find that I'm more or less talking about the same thing and complaining about the same things as I always do. At the end of the day, I actually got 2 images from this trip that I really liked as well, so go figure.
Well, there's a lot of scenes that I do like, but it's, as I said before, it's quite busy. The light's just getting really nice right now. Notice we've got a bit of sun in here, so that really adds a great deal to scenes like this. But can I get it in time? Let's move over a little bit. Focus. We got a little bit of side lighting coming in here, and it's forming just ever so slight shadows. Just a little bit more light would be even better, but I'll take whatever I can get at this point. When I was coming up that hill there, I was sweating like crazy, and of course I was a little bit damp, and now of course I'm getting a bit cold. I do have a rain jacket in my pack that I might have to put on. Oh, this is just great. What I really like about this, so I'm doing this in a 4x5, and what I love about it is the background is somewhat diffused because it is snowing a little bit, and there's some low cloud down there, so it's giving a little bit of separation from that farther background. Now the mid-ground there is quite busy, but there's just tons of detail with snow, and it's beautiful. Looks beautiful on the camera anyway. So one of the other things that I really love about this system, the GFX 100, is the ability to crop in camera. Now, there are a lot of cameras that do that now. Pretty much all of the new cameras that are coming out, you can crop the image within the camera quite easily. But what I love about this is that you're not really losing an awful lot. Even if you cut that image in half, you're still getting a 50 megapixel image, and I don't feel the need to have to do multiple images for panos anymore, because one image in camera is enough. And you have to remember that when I download these images onto my computer, you're still getting the full raw file. It's just that it's cropped it for you in camera, and there's a lot of times when I don't like the crop, or I might want to adjust it just a little bit. I just love that ability though, without having to stitch a whole bunch of images together, because after all, it's very, very rarely, I don't think I have ever stitched an image together and then printed it out massive. And most of the images from this camera, I have very rarely printed out something massive. So, hello, where'd you come from? Hello.
As always, thank you ever so much for watching this week's video. I always appreciate your thumbs up and your comments. And until next week, bye for now.